Hello and welcome to another lesson in SOLIDWORKS. In this lesson I'm going to show you how to draw the whistle just like you can see in front of you. When we have that done, we will generate a photorealistic image of the actual whistle, and we will also do a working drawing of the actual object as well. You will notice that we have a section view over here on the right hand side. This shows us the little ball inside the whistle and also the thickness of the actual whistle itself. So for the moment I'm going to close all of these. I do not want them open. I will also close my photorealistic image, and in my SOLIDWORKS lessons folder I'm going to create a new folder and I will call it lesson 9 whistle. Now I will go back into SOLIDWORKS and I'm going to open up a brand new part, and I'm going to make sure I am in millimeters, and I'm also going to save this. So I'm going to go File, Save As. I will go to my SOLIDWORKS lesson folder and I will save it in whistle, and let's call this the main body, okay, because there will be two parts. There will be the main body and the actual little ball that goes inside the whistle. So I will call this main body. You will now notice that my main body is appearing up here, so I know that my part is saved. So to begin drawing our actual whistle, what I want us to do is I want us to go to Sketch, and we're going to sketch a circle on the front plane. I will click spacebar and I will click normal 2. Now what I want us to do is draw a circle that will be radius 10 or diameter 20. So I'm going to leave roughly there, and I will smart dimension that as diameter 20. So that's kind of the back section of the actual whistle. What I want us to do now, we're actually going to form a sectional view of the whistle. So to do that, I'm going to sketch a line from the top quadrant here. Now this is going to come out 30 millimeters, so I'll bring it out roughly 30. I'm going to bring it down roughly 4. I'm going to bring it up roughly here and down roughly there for the moment. Don't worry about your measurements there because we're going to smart dimension them in a moment. I still have the option of drawing a line. I do not want that, so I will press escape to get out of that command. I will now go back to smart dimension, and I'm going to smart dimension the top line as 30 millimeters. So 30. I will smart dimension this line here, the front, as 4 millimeters. I'm now going to smart dimension the gap here as 3 millimeters. So from here to here, I'll make that 3 millimeters. And this line here, I'm going to make it the length of 4 millimeters. Now we're nearly there. There's one more thing I want to do before we can actually make this a solid object. This line here, you'll notice that if this line were to continue down, it's not really going to anywhere. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to the center of our circle. To do that, I want to add a relation, and what that means is I want to relate this line to this center point. To do that, I'm going to press and hold Control, which is a button in the bottom left hand corner of my keyboard. Press and hold it, select this line, and select center point. You should have an option over here of properties, and I want to make it coincident. So I'm going to select coincident, and you'll notice that my line has changed and it is going directly to the center. So this line is now related to that center point there. So that is our drawing of the whistle. I want to get rid of this section here. To do that, I'm going to use Trim Entities. So I will select Trim Entities. As always, we have a number of options. Automatically it is in Power Trim. If it's not in Power Trim, select it. You have to press and hold the left mouse button and hover over the line you do not want. And that is exactly what I want there. Now, I'm going to delete all these measurements. I don't need them. How am I doing that? I press them and select them with the left button on my mouse. I press delete on my keyboard. I'm now going to extrude this, so I will go to Features, and I'm going to go to Extrude Boss Base, and as always it kind of goes automatically into a 3D view. Now, so far in Extrude we've generally been using Blind. For this one, what I want you to do is select Mid-Plane, and what that means is you will notice it is going out to the left and right of where we drew it, and I want you to put in a measurement of 18 millimeters. And now we have a general overall shape of our actual whistle. The next thing we want to do is I want to add a little bit of a taper to the front left and right of the actual whistle. So I want to look directly down on top of that. So I'm going to look down on the top, and we're going to sketch a line from on. So it's asking us where do we want to draw it. I'm going to select the top surface, and I'm going to draw a line from this corner, and it will be out 20 millimeters. So I can smart dimension that as 20. I'm going to zoom in a small bit, and I'm going to draw a line down. 1.5 this line will be. 1.5, and I want to connect these two lines together, so ultimately we end up with a triangular section like so. I'll press escape to get out of that for the moment. So we have a triangular section here. We need to do this on the other side as well, and a quick way of doing that is to mirror the object over. So to do that, I need to draw a center line from the center here, and let's just draw it out. There's no set measurement on it, just bring it out like so. I'm in the command, I would press escape, and what I want us to do now is go to mirror entities, and I want to mirror this object here over to the other side. So it's asking us what entities do we want to mirror. I want to mirror those three lines. What line do we want to use? Mirror about this line here, and you can see, as always, our yellow preview line has come up. I will press the green tick button to confirm that, and we now have the object on both sides just like we wanted. I'm now going to use extruded cut to get rid of the parts that we don't want. So I will go to features, I will go to extruded cut, and you can see that automatically it is at 18 millimeters, but if I remember correctly, that's only 4 millimeters. So if I just type in 5 to make sure it goes all the way through, if it does, I can confirm that, and you can see we now have a little taper just as we required. Before we go any further, it is a good idea to rename some of these features over here. So as we draw an object, the actual command would be added here. So the first thing we did was a boss extrude, and we then did a cut extrude for the little taper here. We do have the option of changing the names of these, and in your DCG project in 6th year you are awarded marks for this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. If you right click over whichever one you want to change and go to features properties, a little window should open. Here we have the name Boss Extrude, which is Boss Extrude 1, which is what we have here. If we change this to, let's say, main body, and click OK, you will see that the main body changes there as well. I will do the same to this one, the cut extrude, and you'll notice that when I select it, the actual cut extrude goes blue. So I will go to features properties, and let's call this first cut. Click OK, and you can see that the name changes there as well. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to put a little bit of a round on the front of my actual whistle. So I want you to look directly at the top, and we're going to go into sketch, and we're going to use 3-point arc. Now it's asking me what surface or plane do I want to draw on. I want to select the top surface, and we're going to draw an arc from here to here and bring it over roughly to the middle. So I'm going to zoom in a small bit, and I'm going to roughly select here. I want to come straight down and make sure you come vertically down. So I now have 2 points, I now have the option of telling it how much of an arc I want. Now we could snap right to the end, but I do not want you to do that. I want you to deliberately leave it away from the edge for the moment. And I now have an arc done like so. I will just press the green tick button to confirm that. Now there's a few things we want to do to this curve. The first one is we want to make a tangent to this line. So we're going to add a relation, sorry. So I'm going to press and hold the control button, press the line, press the curve, and we should have the option to add a tangent. So if I click tangent, you can see that my curve has now moved up to the line. So this curve is tangent to the line. What does that mean? And the line touches it at one point only. And that's confirmed by the little green symbol that we have there as well. I now want to make this a certain radius. So I will go to Smart Dimension, select the curve. At the moment it's radius 16. I want to make that 25. I will confirm that. And you can see that the curve has changed to radius 25. Now I want to use extrude cut on this actual object then. I will go to features, I will go to extrude cut, and automatically it is selecting the line for me, and it is assuming that we want to get rid of all of this material to the right hand side. And we have a measurement of 10 millimeters. That is more so in relation to how deep down we want to go. For us, again, if I remember, that was 4 millimeters. Let's just make it 5 to make sure it goes all the way down. I would click the green tick button, and I can confirm that as well then. So now we have a little bit of a round curve on the front, and that's called cut extrude here. I'm going to right click, rename this, and let's call it second cut, and click OK. So the name has now changed. Now what we will do now is add a little bit of a fillet to this surface here, or this corner here and this corner here. So I will go to fillet, and type in 0.5, making sure I am in a constant size fillet. I'm going to select that line, rotate it around, select this line, and I will confirm that then. And you can see now we have a nice fillet on the top surface there as well. So again, we have fillet 1. Let's right click, go to features properties, and let's call this top fillet maybe. So top fillet, click OK, and you can see that that's now called top fillet. The next feature I want to draw is a little raised section here at the back where a keyring can be added in, so you can add a whistle to your keys or a bracelet of some sort so it can go around your neck. These are the measurements of what we're going to draw, and we will use a measurement or the command known as revolve boss base. So within SolidWorks, I want to look directly at the side, and what I will do is I want to draw a center line. Now it's very important that we draw this on the actual mid plane, so it's asking us what plane do we want to draw it on. I'm just going to rotate it here. I want you to click the little plus here, and if we go to front plane, you can see the front plane is in the middle, and that's vitally important for this. So I'm going to go back looking at this, and I'm going to draw from the center. I'm going to draw a line out roughly there. This is just for construction for the moment. I now want to offset this line 5 millimeters. So to do that, I will go to offset entities, and I will go to 5 millimeters. I will select the line, and I want it going up the way. If it's not going up the way, if you click reverse, that can change the direction. So I will confirm that there. Now what I want us to do is I want to draw a line from where these two lines intersect. Now there will not be a snap point, but we're going to do it by eye as best we can. And I want you to draw a line straight down, and we're going to draw a line that will be out 6 millimeters. So I will smart dimension this line as 6. And for the moment I can get rid of some of these lines here. I don't really need them anymore. I now want to draw a circle from the middle of this line here out to the edge, and I now want to draw a line from this point here, and ultimately it will be tangent, so let's bring it as best we can tangent to the circle. And I'm going to press escape because I am already in a command and I do not want to draw a line anymore. To make this line tangent to this circle, I will press and hold Control, click the line, click the circle, and you should have the option to add a relation. I want this line to be related to this circle tangentially, and you can see the little green symbol appears. You now know that that line is tangent there. I'm now going to use trim entities to get rid of the majority of the actual object. So that is exactly what we want. I'll click the green tick button. I will delete my measurement here. So that is what we have there. It's directly in the middle, and that's vitally important. I'm going to go to Features, going to go to Revolved Boss Base. It's asking us what axis of revolution do we want. I will select this line here. You can see automatically it's gone into our yellow preview mode. I will click the green tick button, and now we have our back section in there, directly in the middle, like so. Now I'm going to rename this, so it's called Revolve Tree. I will go to right click, Features, Properties, and let's call this back section. Click OK then, and that is renamed. Now I'm just going to click Save to save my work. The next thing I want to do is I want to shell out the actual object itself. So I want to make it hollow inside. To do that, I'm going to go to within Features, I'm going to go to Shell. The measurement we want is 0.5, and remember the surface that we want to be open is what we select. So I want the front to be open. I will select that, click the green tick button, and you can see we now have the object shelled out. And that's called shell 2. I might just right click, go Features, Property, and I will go main shell maybe. Now I will click Save again. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of an opening in the top section here. So I want to look directly at the top surface, and I'm going to sketch a corner rectangle on the top surface here, and I'm going to sketch a rectangle really where this taper line intersects my horizontal line here. So I will draw a rectangle from here straight down, and I was smart to mention that as 6 millimeters. And we're going to use extruded cut to cut this object. So I will go to Features, Extruded Cut. Now this time generally we have been using blind, so you can see here if I went all the way down, it's going to cut all of this material out, which I do not want. I want you to click the down arrow here and go to Up to Surface, and it's asking us what surface do we want to go up to. I want you to click just the inside surface there, so it's only going to cut out the top surface there. Click the green tick button, and you can see our opening is now there. Okay, so again, this is cut extrude. I might go right click, Features, Properties, and let's call it opening, and click OK there. I will click the save button to save my work as well. I now want to add a little bit of a hole here for a keyring to actually go through it. So I want to look directly at the side, and I'm going to sketch a few construction lines. So I will go to a center line. Now it's asking me where do I want to do it, or where do I want to sketch it. Again, I need to select the mid plane. So if you click the plus button here, and it is the front plane more so, you can see the front plane is directly in the middle there. I will go spacebar, I will go normal 2, and I want to draw a line that will be out 12 millimeters. So 12, and I want to draw a circle on that will be diameter 2 millimeters. So that's our little hole there. I'm going to press escape. I do not want these dimensions. Let's tidy it up a small bit. I do not want this dimension. I do not need this line here. Now to get that hole, so you see that hole is directly in the middle there now. I'm going to use extruded cut to cut that out then. And automatically it is selecting that circle for me. Now you can see that it's only going one way there. I want you to go to mid plane, and you can see it's cutting left and right, and 15 millimeters is okay. You can see that if I go below, so for example 5 millimeters, it might not necessarily come out. So let's type in 10 millimeters, click on the screen, and you can see it's sticking out either end. I can confirm that then. And we now have a hole in there for a keyring to go through. And let's rename this features properties. Let's call it hole. Now that is the main part of the whistle done. I'm going to save that, and let's add a little bit of material to it. So let's go to maybe metal, click metal, let's go to steel. Let's see what we have. Polished steel maybe. I'm going to allow you to pick what you want. Maybe brushed steel. If you wanted, you could make it black to resemble a black whistle. But I'm going to go with polished steel maybe. And I would click the save button there like so. So that is the main body done. I now want to draw the little ball that will go inside it. And then we will go into an assembly and assemble them together. So I'm going to close this. I will go to File, New Part, and very quickly we will sketch a ball. So to do that, I want to go to Circle. Let's draw it on the front plane. Click Spacebar, go normal to draw a circle. The dimension for this is 7 millimeters, and we're going to split this in half. And then use revolved boss base. So I've drawn a line straight down. I'll get rid of that dimension. I don't want this. I will go to trim entities, power trim, and I want to get rid of 1/2. Confirm that. Let's go to features, revolved boss base. What axis of revolution do I want to use? I'll select this line and confirm that there like so. And I might make this a different color altogether. I might just make it black so it stands out maybe inside the actual whistle. So maybe painted and black maybe. And click the save button then. And within your SolidWorks lessons, lesson 9, let's call this inside ball maybe. And click save. So now that I have that done, I will close that. And I want to go to a new assembly this time. I'll make sure I'm in millimeters, which I am, and I want to save it before I proceed on. So File, Save, and again within our SolidWorks lessons, we'll say Assembly of Whistle. And I want to go to Insert Component. I want to go to Browse, and I want to bring in the main body first, which is there. Happy with that. Insert component again. I'll go to Browse, Inside Ball, bring the ball in there like that. And I now want to mate this. So I want to mate. So I want to mate the outside surface with the inside surface here. And what's very important, if I look around the side, you can see that it's kind of going to the outside of it. I want you to click mate alignment and go aligned, and it will go to the inside. So you can just see it's gone to the inside there like that. I will confirm that then as well. Now that's not fully done because while it is inside there, you can move left to right. So it is able to move around, but I want to mate it to the inside surface of one side. So I'll go to mate, and I'm going to mate this surface here with the outside surface there. Now I want to have it so it's in the middle a little bit. So I'm going to go to my measurement here, and let's type in maybe 5 millimeters, click on the screen, and it's roughly in the middle there like that. So it's able to move around, but it can't really move outside. of the actual object now. So I will hit the save button just to save my work, and I now want to close this. And what I want us to do is I want to open up the blank drawing that we created right at the start. So in our SOLIDWORKS lessons folder, at this stage we should have lesson 1 to 9 done. Let's go to blank drawing and open up our blank drawing. And remember, I need to save this now in our lesson 9. So I will go to File, Save As, and that's very important, Save As. So I want to save it as my drawing for lesson 9. So let's call this Whistle. So it's now saved as Whistle, and I'm going to come down here and change this as well. So again, it's as our T block, which we did right at the start. So I'll go right click, edit sheet format, double click my text, and call it Whistle. So you can see the lines are blue. That means I'm in edit mode. To get out of that, I can click this button here, and they go grey. They're in the background and are now not being used. Before I go any further, what I might do is I want to rename this sheet 1 as Whistle Drawing. So to do that, I would right click on sheet format and go to properties. And as before, we have sheet 1, and let's call this Whistle Drawing maybe. And I can click OK, and you can see down here automatically that changes there. So now what I want to do is I want to go to model view, and I want to model a view of the assembly of the whistle, and click open. And let's just bring in one view for the moment, because we are going to make a little bit of a change, I think. I'm going to press escape there for the moment. I want the circular part to be on the right hand side more so I'm going to go to model view, I'm going to go to projected view. I'm going to project the view out, and what I will do then is I'm going to press escape, and I will project another view from that first view we did. So it means that we have I'm going to press escape again, we have two views, two elevations, and I want to use this one here, so I will delete the rest of these here. And what I'm going to do is drag this over and use this as my view. Now that to me looks a little bit small, so I'm going to change the scale a little bit. And if I go to, so it is 2:1, if I go to 5:1, it's nearly too big, so maybe 4:1 or 3:1. Let's go to user defined, let's go to 4:1, click on the screen, potentially a little bit too big still. User defined, let's go 3.5:1, and that seems a little bit better there now. So I'm going to go to projected view, I'm going to select the view and come down then. That's my plan. I'm going to have an end view as well, and also an isometric view of some sort. So let's get a view something like that there, and I'm happy with those for the moment. I will confirm that. I'm going to drag this down here, and to do that, okay, it's very important that you drag the outside. So when I hover over a view, a rectangle appears around that. You press and hold that and drag it down. And what we might do is maybe add a little bit of color to that. So we have our blue ball inside there, and the actual outside surface as well. And what I want to do is I also want to do a section view to show a cross section of the inside. So I will go to section view, and I'm going to draw a line down the middle here. I will click the OK button, click OK here, and the section view will appear. And now the section view will show the wall thickness and the ball thickness there as well, or the ball diameter more so. Now I might have to rejig things here a small bit to make room for everything. I might have to change the scale. Just about fits in. So let's change the scale a small bit here. User defined, maybe if I go 3:1, it might make everything smaller. Now it's very important there, I changed the scale of the first drawing that we brought in, and that changed everything. So it's very important, if you're changing the scale, change the scale of the first drawing that we brought in. And I might make this a little bit bigger to fill the space. So use custom scale, let's go 4:1, and that's a little bit better there now. Yeah, now just click the save button to save my work. And I'm going to go to a few dimensions now to dimension the actual drawing. So the width was, that's the internal measurement. I want to get the outside measurement there. So the outside to the very outside, and that was 18. Maybe let's smart dimension this radius here, which was radius 10. Let's smart dimension the diameter of the ball inside, which is radius 7. Let's smart dimension this here, which is radius 2. And let's smart dimension the actual opening as well, which is up here. So let's do it. Where is it? Down here. It will be, so smart dimension this line to this line, and that was 6, which is what it was when we did the actual drawing itself. Now I'm going to save it, and I'm going to change the size of the dimensions. So press and hold Control and select all the dimensions and go to Other, use document font, and it's at 3.5. Let's double the size of it and see if that's okay. 7, that seems a little bit better there now, and everything else seems okay there. I'm going to click the save button, and what I might do is I might save this as a PDF. So File, Save As, and save it as a PDF file. So Adobe Portable Document Format, whistle, and click Save. And let's check to see, has that come up for me. So into my SOLIDWORKS lessons folder, whistle 9, lesson 9, sorry. So we have the assembly, the main parts, the drawing, and the PDF drawing as well. And perfect, that is my PDF drawing of the actual object. And the final thing I will do maybe is I will do a photorealistic image as well. So I will open up the assembly of the actual whistle, and we're going to do a photo view of the actual whistle. Now you need render tools for this. For me, I have it here. If you do not have it, you go to Tools, go to Add-ins all the way down the bottom, and click Photo View 360. For me, it's ticked, so I'm okay with that. Now, if you want it done nice and quickly, if we go to Options, we have the option of clicking Final Render Quality. Good, better, best, maximum. If you put it to maximum, it can take a while. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to leave it at better. And if you remember, we need to position it as best we can. Sometimes it's prudent to go to Preview window, and it will show us if we are correctly positioned on the screen. And let's see, so that is relatively, that's perfect, yeah. So I'm going to get out of that very quickly, and I will go to Final Render. And the final render will come up. So that is done. I will now save that image, and I will go to lesson 9, and I'm going to save it over the existing one I actually have there. And if I close this, close this, minimize this, and let's go into Mr. Kerwin lessons, SOLIDWORKS lessons, lesson 9, and we have our photo view of the actual whistle. So that is the end of this lesson.